Okay, so this song is going to be RVF. Okay. Um, which is short for resting bitch face. Now, what that is basically like, it's like a phase where basically at your neutral state, like you're just chilling, you're not you're not feeling anything, like you may just be relaxing, and then it looks like you're pissed, like you want to strangle somebody or you're just angry or whatever, like. So it'll be, let me give an example. Like this is just me chilling, and then someone is going to walk up and be like, "Bro, I could see your jugular vein popping out, man." That kind of thing, and yeah. So it's basically that's like the premise for the song. So it's about that experience of like being sort of misread, misunderstood, being like, and how people can have like a whole conversation without you even saying anything. Like your face basically just speaks for you before you even before you even say anything. Like presumptions, assumptions, like oh you're mad or oh it's because and people who are insecure like will just have battles with you. Like let's say somebody's insecure about the color of their skin. They're like, oh well, fine, fuck you then. Oh I'm just oh you hate me because of my color. Okay, fine, I'll go sit somewhere else then. And then before you know you, without even saying anything, just because it looked like you were frowning, then it now um and now you have like an adversary, like you have somebody who, and they'll probably go and tell somebody else who also, I don't know, like so basically that kind of thing. So that's basically like the premise for RBF, like so conversation starter. My RBF at parties, yes, it merely makes one harder. So yeah, this RBF thing can also make it hard to like converse with people, and like to go to social gatherings or to be social, because then like it's like people so focused on like oh were you smiling, were you not smiling, like that kind of thing. um, or you just looked aggressive when you approached, or they didn't approach you because you didn't look approachable or sociable. You just looked like you wanted to be on your own, or you were like depressed or whatever, and those kind of comments and stuff. So shooting the three finger points that go up against me when debating myself. So shooting the three finger points, that is like this in this that saying that when you point at somebody trying to blame them, three fingers are pointing back at you. So because like it feels like oh, okay, well, should you blame somebody else or should you blame yourself for all this happening? Like he sounds like Richard Kuklinski when I'm debating myself. Richard Kuklinski was a serial killer. He basically what he did was like in like an interview I saw basically where he was basically like saying oh he was justified for all the killings and all the murders that he did, like I was like so you know which is pretty cold, but I mean he was called the Iceman, so the original Iceman. With that victim mentality, right? Oh, I'm the one. I'm that. If you have that victim mentality, then it eats you up. So I picked myself apart. I picked him apart. The man in the mirror, dismembered for a la carte. That is basically saying like allowing it to eat you up. If you this RBF like if you think too much about it, like if you blame yourself or blaming, if you're debating about whether to blame yourself or whether to blame other people, then it's going to eat you up. So RBF, I can't stress, bitch. RBF, I don't stress, bitch. RBF, the vibe could be described as Bray Wyatt and family. Restless, like a death wish. Resting bitch face for breakfast, eating me up. I wasn't giving a fuck, but it's beginning to fuck me up, RBF. So, as much as you don't want to really care about it, like you want to just brush it off, like, cause that's usually the best thing. If you can't debate something away, like if you can never actually know if it's you or if it's somebody else that's at fault, then it might be best to just like let it go and just be like whatever. But then it also has real life consequences, right? So RBF, you're looking sorry. She wants you to be her BF, but that Atari game you brings in vain when the same expression was made throughout the discussion. So you're just sitting there with that neutral face, just having a conversation with someone, um, or while you're listening to the person, not even like a conversation, like maybe just listening to them, giving them like a listening ear. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, you're making this face that looks like you're angry, and it's like, no, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. And then that spoils the whole game. So no matter how much your game you bring after that or in the middle of that is, then either way you're still looking sorry. So it costs you your chances and stuff like, So no matter how much you like, oh, I can't stress, I don't stress, it still has real life consequences, even if you don't care about it in itself. So and how it ruins relationships. Thumbs down, unlikable motherfucker. This one is from, taking pictures and then you're just keeping your face at a neutral state and then it looks like your face. So like thumbs down, I'm not liking this picture of yours. I'm not liking this clip like that you're in just because of that face. Something that's happened a lot. Dress how you want to be addressed. If you wear a long face, you'll be long facing the problem of not belonging. So if you like, the saying, dress how you want to be addressed. If you're wearing this face, then people will address you like, someone who's dressing wearing that face, like, and then you may not end up fitting in, you know. Oh God, he thinks he's John Gotti. 1 minute. Wait a minute. Now he thinks he's nobody. So this face is confusing. 1 minute it's like people are like, oh, you think you're too proud. This, that. That's why you're not smiling, or that's why you're keeping this face. And then it's like, oh, you think you're the head, or you think you're above everybody. 1 second, another person comes over and is like, wait, no, you look sad. You look like, I'm miserable. That kind of thing. You look pissed with your shit face, like, and then you explain it's not a shit face, it's an RB face, but you get tired of explaining, like, so I can't stress. Had my first impression fumbled by my first expression, and I'm scared to question God why He went and put a question mark on my face. So that's where it's like, oh, your face is puzzling. It's like there's a question mark on your face, like, because nobody can know what state that you're actually in as to whether I'm happy, nappy, in a crappy mood. Like, what exactly do you want from me to run from me? Like, the face is having a conversation with people on your behalf before you even get to say anything, right? So, and then that having your first impression fumbled. This actually happened like in a class that I took, CS 210. I took that with like this teacher, and basically when I was with her, like tutor, basically it was an issue where because I didn't have this like smiley face or everything, or because I looked like I was angry at her and everything, she would basically be so harsh, so unnecessarily harsh towards me and towards my marks and everything, just docking marks like for no reason. She would like take off, oh, I came a minute late to class, a minute, and she's like docked off a mark already for the attendance policy and said basically I didn't attend, even though like, I ran through snow like to get to that class, but I was just a minute late. Um, Eventually, I ended up failing the class and I had to retake it. So in the course of retaking it, like she was a lot nicer. Like got to actually know me one on one rather than just like assuming that I was angry, I hated her, or that kind of thing. And luckily, we became like, anyway. Point being that like, yeah, it was a lot better when we got to, but the face had caused that issue in the face in the first place, right? So taking being taken at face value wasn't really nice. And I ended up passing the class like the next time because getting to actually know without having to, smile more or whatever, or like forcibly, because I hate being asked to smile or being asked to like whatever, like just forcibly being told how to look, you know. Yeah, so basically that's what RBF is about. And that was the inspiration. It was my friend actually, my former roommate, who actually told me this. Like, oh no, you just have an RPF like you have, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like a resting bitch face, and I'm like, sent me down a rabbit hole on TikTok at the time. So yeah, and then you know